Are digital cameras now vintage? Have we already reached that point? Let me show you this camera. All right, here's the camera. This is the Olympus C-770 Ultra Zoom. And I'm not pretending this is a new camera. This is from 2004, so it's 22 years old as of 2026, which is crazy. Is it vintage? Is it already a vintage camera? And why would you even consider having one of these on hand? It is minus 5 degrees outside. It is absolutely freezing, but it's very pretty. The snow we got here, it's cold.
Old digital cameras are making a comeback. Not because they're perfect, but because they're not. This is the Olympus C-770 Ultra Zoom, a camera that once tried to do everything. It was like one of the original pioneers who explored the Wild West of the digital camera world. And somehow, in the blink of an eye, this 2004 camera is now a nostalgic relic.
I already had to go to town, and I figured I may as well bring you guys with me. We'll get a few things at Walmart, go to Casey's, get some gas, and then maybe finish it off with some drinks at Mickey D's or something, because why not? You know, it's funny. I remember when my mom and dad got a camera like this around 2005, and we were on the cutting edge. Like this, if you had one of these, you were like right on par with having the most modern camera. Crazy enough, when this came out, this was between $500 and $600. Recently, I picked this up at my local thrift store for like 10 bucks, which is nuts. And if I look like I'm cold and shivering, I'm filming this video in 5 degrees. If you guys were in any of this snow that went across the country, I hope you're staying safe. I can't even talk. I hope you're staying safe and warm. I like the snow. I like the cold, but this is pretty cold. But I wanted to keep the content coming for you guys, so we're out here making it happen. Like I said, this camera came out in 2004, and this was kind of a bridge camera. This was one of the first types of cameras that was crossing over from film to something where you didn't have interchangeable lenses. It made it kind of a Swiss Army knife for photographers. Crazy enough, this camera packs a 4 megapixel sensor. For context, my R5 that I'm filming this on has a 45 megapixel sensor. A little bit of a difference.
It packed a 10x optical zoom into a surprisingly little camera body. That zoom alone was wild for the time. But it wasn't just about the zoom. You had aperture priority, shutter priority, and full manual control. So it felt way more advanced than a typical point and shoot.
And then there was video, the next groundbreaking feature of the cameras of this era. The fact that you can combine video and photo in one camera was crazy. This did 30 frames per second at MPEG-4 compression, which meant smaller file sizes, better motion capture, and all around a better experience when capturing video. For 2004, this was like the newest iPhone quality, which is so funny to think about. I think my beard is freezing. I can't tell. I kind of like that. I don't know, should I get
it? This camera's memory card is called what is now an archaic XD card and is 256 megabytes, giving you a whopping 16 minutes of record time. I would not recommend using this for any long-form podcasts.
Funny enough with this camera though is that if you wanted to record the video with sound, you had to go into the menu settings and actually turn on the sound. Otherwise, it would record the video completely silent, which totally threw me off when I first got this. I'm like, why is there no audio? And then I realized you have to actually go in and manually turn it on. Every time you turn the camera off and on, you have to do that. This kind of camera was basically replacing those massive like home video shoulder rigs. And so I guess they were just trying to figure it out. And apparently audio was optional in 2004. Can I do a small Coke, a large iced vanilla coffee, and a small strawberry banana smoothie? $7.96? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Guys, I broke the code. I am getting a vanilla coffee from McDonald's. I'm not doing a blueberry coffee from a Dunkin', so please forgive me. We'll get a blueberry coffee from Dunkin' another day. We're just switching it up a little bit. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thank you.
How are you today?
Appreciate it. Thanks, you too. And no, not all these drinks are for me, just so you know. I'm not doing some sort of crazy combined nasty drink. Just the coffee's for me. The rest is for the family.
This camera was actually a big hit. The lens was sharp, the macro was great, the pictures were clear, the menus actually made sense, and it supported external flashes and accessories. So for its time, it was honestly a very well thought out camera.
Does that look pretty good?
Fast forward to today, and this thing feels completely different. The colors from the sensor, the contrast, the crunchy little video files, the very audible zoom motor, it feels like a time capsule now. It makes everything you record somehow reminiscent of slower and better times. So in a world of perfect images and seemingly unlimited resolution, cameras like this remind you that limitations are really sometimes part of the experience.
Is this camera vintage? According to ChatGPT, technically, yes. Between 20 and 99 years old, that's vintage. Older than 99 years, it's antique. So this is now a vintage camera. This 2004 digital Olympus C-770 Ultra Zoom, whatever the title was, camera it's vintage. Which is crazy because to me, this is just a snapshot of a time that was slower already. It's only been 22 years, but it was slower. It was a time when these cameras were trying to figure out what they wanted to be and what was next for the video industry. So with a snap of a finger, this camera that was once cutting edge is now nostalgic and creative in a whole new way, and something that's just fun to use to capture fun memories. It just makes everything you shoot feel like a core memory. If you guys found this interesting, let me know what other camera or lens I should review next. I enjoy doing videos about this stuff. I love history, love where things have come, how they've evolved. So let me know in the comments. If you want to see a video about a vintage cinema lens right here that's awesome on a budget, watch this right here. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. It was good to see you guys. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Cheers.